The time for construction have gotten much worse after the end of Bionicle G2. Since Star Wars is now the only theme that is making buildable figures, and because Star Wars belongs to a much carry company that loves to overprice things. Seriously, $300? Are you freaking mental? Construction sets became ridiculously overpriced. I mean, just to look at how much Chewbacca cost. Almost $50. And look at the price of the other sets. Just compare those to the price of Umurak the Destroyer and Butaka for Bionicle G1. I know there's a licensing fee, but it's damn well obvious that Chewie is $25 and everyone else should be $5 to $10 less. And it's pretty obvious that LEGO doesn't see the many big noticeable problems when they ask BC Powers to raise awareness of the Star Wars buildable figures. They decided to make construction sets on licensed themes instead of doing it on one of their original themes. And this is what this video is about, as you can see from the title. Could LEGO 2 original themes, Ninjago and Nexo Knights, have a construction sets work? Construction being in a LEGO original theme would definitely help with there being no licensing fees on them. And due to the characters originate being minifigures and not humanoid like Star Wars, the size would definitely go back down to Hero Factory size, like the size we have in Breakout. Basically around $10, the good pocket money price. Obviously, if they wanted to give the sets function, there needed to be a new torso piece, one that don't require a knob box, because it would have the box and ball joint for the head already on the torso. It would keep the size being small, thus using less plastic. For the head would be a different version of the Glatorian head, but in the shape of a minifigure's head, with axle/pins on the side, top, and back of the head. As for the design of the theme sets, Ninjago wouldn't be too hard to make construction sets of, since there isn't much to do with the legs and arms, but with the torso, it's been obviously shown that doesn't stop the designers from adding stuff around it. There would be printing on the body plate, but if there are pin and axles on it, which there should be, would help add a lot of design detail along with UC tubes around the torso, and if there's a cloth, it would be one that needs to be tied up. The weapons would be lightweight with them using katanas, shurikens, and nunchakus. Besides for Coles, who likely would be having a hitting gimmick due to him using a scythe. The katana would be a new piece to fit with the figure size. Same goes with the shurikens. Nunchakus would be using already existing pieces, like these construction chains. Now, as with Nexo Knights, the design for them would be kind of different. Unlike Ninjago, that sounds like a cheaper way of making construction sets. Nexo Knights would basically need a new upper armor/shoulder armor every year to fit with the minifigure's form. The torso could just be recolors of the Brain Attack body armor, with the chest having different stuff on it. Since the Knights also shows design armor on the legs, there would be add-on armor on the legs as well. As for the helmet, I personally do not want the connection to use those that were used on the creature sets for the visors. You know what I'm talking about, the ones that were used on the Hill Factory Beast and Elf's Dragon Jaws. I'm pretty much hoping it would be an axle through a pinhole. Weapons aren't gonna be like the Ninjago weapons since they aren't lightweight. Clay, Macy, and Axel need something to support holding their weapons. Clay can be taken out of this depending on the weight of the weapon. Lance and Elwan would obviously have something different for their function/gimmicks because of their weapons. So now, between these two, Ninjago would definitely be the cheapest way of making construction sets. With not having much detail to make and uses the least amount of plastic, the sets could even cost under $10. But the downside is that they pretty much would feel the same every year, besides from the villain side of it, unless the designers would put in more effort in the ninjas. Like that ever gonna happen? While Nexo Knights would be using more, but not the amount as Star Wars Constraction, and unlike Ninjago, Nexo Knights wouldn't feel the same every year, with the upper torso and add-on armor changing. However, there's a major problem, that being their system counterpart. No matter what existing theme LEGO try to put Constraction in, the system will always outweigh Constraction. It's been made obvious with Star Wars. But if it have to be these two, I would say that it gotta be Nexo Knights. Each year would have their own different design. It would look better on the shelves, with them having their helmets instead of that ugly Star Wars face. Now, what are your thoughts of which would work as construction sets? Ninjago, Nexo Knights, or neither of them? Leave it in the comments below.